I don't know where you've been, but you're going to respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Shannon Mendoza is suing Lionel Stevens in the amount of $700. Miss Mendoza claims she was fed up with her cheating ex-boyfriend and says her grandmother's urn was broken when she tried to leave him.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. Yeah, I'll be seated. Judge, both litigants have been sworn in.
All righty, thank you. State your name.
Shannon Mendoza.
Sir?
Lionel Stevens.
All righty, ma'am, you're suing Mr. Stevens for $700, saying that your ex-boyfriend is responsible for destroying the urn of your grandmother's ashes.
That is correct.
Sorry to hear it happen. We'll determine liability, but sorry to hear that happen. Give me some background on you all's friendship, relationship, anything you'd like for me to know about the two of you.
Sure. Lionel, and I. Convenient.
That's convenient. Yeah, that's what she calls you. She don't call you Lionel. She just calls you Lie.
Yeah, she's
funny.
funny.
I know where this is going. He got 1,000 women too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's why she calls you Lie.
Your Honor, that's not the
you
case.
Lie or Lionel?
I'm Lionel, Your Honor.
Until I find out different. Go ahead.
We met working at the hospital where I am a head nurse, and Lionel was hired as security for the hospital. This was approximately...
He came up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Approximately 3.5 years ago. We became friends while working on the same floor of the hospital. We would often have lunch breaks at the same time, therefore would end up eating a lot of meals together. One day I had a tough day in the unit, and a patient passed away, and Lionel comforted me, and then we went out to get coffee, and while on that coffee outing, he asked me if I would like to go for a date, and I said yes, and that was sort of the beginning of things.
All right, you give me some background, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, as she said, in the beginning, everything was great. It really didn't start to take a downturn until her grandmother passed away.
When was that?
She started to drink very...
When was that?
That was about 18 months into the relationship.
Okay. Go ahead.
And as I was saying, she started to drink very heavily. About the same time, I was offered another really great, high-paying job doing personal security for high-end clients. And I was away a lot. I went on business trips all over the world. And during the course of some of these trips, she believed I was with somebody else. She was sending accusatory texts. And again, as I said, I think partly because of her drinking, and she was becoming very insecure, and the loss of her grandmother, she started to really go off the deep end a little bit.
How did the change of jobs affect the relationship?
Well, Your Honor, something that was specific and special to Lionel and I's relationship was that every day, whether he would get home first or I would get home first, whoever got home second, he would always give me a kiss, and that was a daily thing. Mm-hmm. And then after the new job started, I noticed that the kisses became less frequent upon one of us arriving home, to the point where then there were no kisses at all.
Then he had a new job. Maybe the man was tired. But you can give a little peck, right?
Correct, and that's all it was.
You ain't too tired to give a peck.
Right, exactly.
Your Honor, that wasn't
all you gotta do.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I want to say that as well.
That's what I have to do. Not have to. That's what I do at home, and all our family does that. Amir, he likes to kiss me with that bad breath. Why did you stop giving her the pecks? Let's just start there.
To be honest, Your Honor, she smelled like a distillery. So I had no desire to get near her and kiss her. And I don't even think she knew that I was there half the time.
Okay, ma'am, did you have a drinking problem after your grandmother passed?
Yes, and I'm not trying to hide anything as part of this case. I unfortunately did turn to drinking as...
Sir, did you encourage her to go and get help?
No, in fact, he actually discouraged me from going to therapy, saying, and I quote, "Therapy is not a real science," and therefore he was not willing to support me paying to go to a therapist.
Well, it sounds like you were an alcoholic. And did you encourage her to go to Alcoholic Anonymous?
No, Your Honor.
Why? Why wouldn't you encourage a woman who you see destroying herself because you know why she's destroying herself? Because she's depressed about one of the most traumatizing times in her life.
To be honest, because I thought it was just a matter of time before it passed and she started to feel better. So I didn't think, because I always knew her as a strong woman, an independent woman, and I thought it was just...
You never met an alcoholic before?
No, Your Honor, not really.
Please.
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
No, Your Honor, that's not
what did happen to the urn? You said something, but
she picked it up in an attempt to throw it at me, and I intervened.
Please, that woman wasn't throwing nothing.
And later.
The first one, I ended up...
That's a roach in there. Get that roach, son.
It's very disgusting, Your Honor. That is my first time witnessing
Thank
a roach.
you.
Oh, my God.
Killed it, all right.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Shannon Mendoza, who is suing Lionel Stevens for property damage.
And so tell me what happened with the incident that caused your grandmother's urn to be turned over, or what happened there?
Yeah, in the new profile, high profile job, he would tell me that he frequently had to go on trips for the job, accompanying his clients, which...
Rich people?
They had to remain anonymous because they were high profile clients.
Yeah, going over to the islands. Go ahead.
Right. And so the sort of final straw trip, I just wanted to call, and every time I would try to call, he would pick up very abruptly, and I would hear a woman's voice in the background, and he would shush, and then we would talk for about 3 minutes, and then he would say that he had to go, that work was calling him away, and so that was sort of the beginning of the end. And so I did send a couple texts when I was infuriated and a little intoxicated, but when I was in my right mind the next morning, I woke up and decided that I was going to pack up my things and move out of the apartment. And when I did that, he came home a day early and caught me mid-move as I was carrying my grandmother's urn out to my car. And so when he came in, I was not expecting to see him. I was trying to move out before he got home. That way all of my stuff would be out of the way and we could have a civilized conversation. But I kept asking him upon his entry into the house, are you having an affair? Are you having an affair? And he would not admit to it. And I will admit, I got overheated. I did throw a plate, not at him, on the ground in front of him.
Yes, Your Honor, I have evidence of that thrown plate.
See it. Let's see the plate.
This was not the only thing she threw at me. I also have evidence of the text that she would be sending me while I was at work, and this will give you a really good idea of her mindset and what I was dealing with. I came home early, Your Honor, to surprise her and try to work it out. And what I came home to was a plate being thrown at me, a pan being thrown at me, and ultimately the urn, the ashes. And in the process of attempting to protect myself and block her, the urn fell. And that's exactly what happened.
That is not what happened.
Ma'am, you do seem unhinged. And when he asked you, have you been drinking, your answer was, I'm a grown woman. I'm an adult, kiddo. I can hear you saying that too. I'm an adult, kiddo.
It wasn't, again, when I sent those texts, I was intoxicated. However,
and you threw something at him.
Yes. Oh, the
you
throwing.
threw something at him before the urn was broken.
Yes, I didn't throw the plate at him. I threw it on the ground in front of him to get his attention because over the past however many months since the new job started, it seems like nothing I could do would really get his attention, hence all of the texts. And I know that something was going on and he wouldn't fess up. And so then after throwing the singular plate, there was no pan that was thrown. The pans were already packed in a box in the car.
What was the urn when you threw the plate?
The urn was on the kitchen counter, so I was packing up the plates right when he walked in, and there was one in my hand, and then I threw it, and then after he still would not confess to the affair, I grabbed the urn and I was just going to walk out. I told him I was not going to have this conversation anymore, and as I tried to walk out, he grabbed me by the wrist to stop me, and that knocked the urn out of my hand onto the ground.
Why do you think he grabbed you by the wrist? What was the purpose?
To stop me from leaving because I told him I was not having this conversation, and he said, we are having this conversation. And so he stopped me from exiting. I was about to go out the front door.
No, Your Honor, that's not
What did happen to the urn? You said something, but
she
give me
picked
the
it up in
full-
an attempt to throw it at me, and I intervened.
Please, that woman wasn't throwing that. She was. Sorry, I don't want to call you that woman. Shannon was not throwing that urn at you, sir.
No.
She was not throwing her grandmother's urn at you. I don't believe it. There's not that much drunk in the world. She knew that was her grandmother's urn. She did not throw that. So, Mr. Stevens, you're no longer Lionel. Mr. Stevens, you are lie, as you call him. Judgment for the plaintiff, lie, no. $700. Have a good day. I don't believe you did that. Therefore, I believe you grabbed her wrist, as she says. $700 for the plaintiff.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $700.
This woman is a drunk, okay? You're a drunk, and you lied to the court, and it's only because of your sneakiness and deceitfulness that he bought it. That's it.
I'll take a breathalyzer test right now.
Coming up,
I had noticed that she had 2 cats off in the distance on the couch. I asked her, were those her cats? And she said yes. I then informed her that there is a pet policy in place on the lease agreement that she signed.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Paul Mayhew is suing Alexis Biles in the amount of $1,800. Mr. Mayhew claims his former tenant moved 2 cats into her apartment and says she complained about roaches and moved out instead of paying the pet fee.
State your name.
Paul Mayhew, Your Honor, I'm suing for $1,800 today for pet fee
I didn't ask you
compensation.
that. Your name?
Alexis
All
Biles.
right. I'll tell you what you're suing for.
Yes, sir.
We're just having fun with you already.
Yes, sir.
You're suing your tenant for $1,800, alleging she moved out, owing you rent. Is that correct?
Correct.
Start with you. Give me some background on it.
Me and my wife have resided in our residence for 15 years. For the past 5 years, we renovated our home into 3 studio apartments, one of which we leased to Ms. Biles. Upon moving inside, Ms. Biles stated that she saw a cockroach. She contacted me. I immediately contacted my exterminator to go there to resolve the issue. About a month into her lease, she contacted me again, stating that she still sees cockroaches. Once again, I dispatched my exterminator to go out there and handle the situation. 3 months passed, and so I was in the area. I decided to go by for a visit. I had noticed that she had 2 cats off in the distance on the couch. I asked her, were those her cats? And she said yes. I then informed her that there is a pet policy in place on the lease agreement that she signed.
You have the lease today?
Yes, I do, Your
All
Honor.
right. Let me have it, please, Amir.
Coming up,
After he brings the same exterminate over, there's no solution to this problem. So I'm
Only
not
problem, ma'am, I've never heard that cats eat roaches. I know they eat rats.
Exactly.
People get them for rats. You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Paul Mayhew, who is suing Alex Biles for breach of contract.
Let me get some background from you, young lady, while we're waiting.
Yes, of
You look
course,
so
Your
young. How old are you?
I'm 20, Your
All
Honor.
right, have your own place and everything.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, proud of you.
I actually moved here from Nashville, Tennessee. I got a job for a PR marketing company. I got the job right after the holidays, and I just needed a last-minute place to move. And I found Mr. Mayhew's listing. I did a walkthrough of the place. It seemed perfectly fine through the walkthrough. And about a week later, I was noticing a roach on the floor. I thought it was just one. Then I go to do the dishes. There's 2 more in the
A
sink.
week? It took a week for you to see them, though?
Yes, Your Honor, a week. I'm
You brought
always-
the roaches with you then.
Exactly.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, you did.
Yes, Your Honor.
I did, however, end up contacting one of his former tenants, and I asked her if there were roaches in the apartment prior to living in there. She also said there were. I can also hand the
Let me see
text
it, please,
messages to
Amir.
you.
Your Honor,
The whole
that
folder?
tenant resided in that residence
Thank you.
3 years prior to Ms. Biles. 3 years
3
prior to
years
Ms.
before
Biles.
that tenant had left.
Correct.
3 years prior.
Correct.
And who had lived there in between those 3 years? Did you have other tenants?
Yes, I did.
Did they ever complain to you about roaches?
No, they did not.
So for 3 years, you never had a roach complaint.
Correct.
Did you take any pictures?
Yes, I did. They're all
There
in the
you
folder,
go.
Your Honor. The first one.
If it was that bad, you would take pictures.
Yes, the first one I ended up.
That's a roach in there. Get that roach, son.
It's very disgusting, Your Honor. That is my first time witnessing
Thank
a
you.
roach. Oh my
You
gosh.
killed it. All right, we're good. I could look.
Your Honor, the situation at hand was the fact that she snuck in 2 cats, didn't inform me, and then refused to pay the pet fee.
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Your Honor, the reason I did adopt 2 cats is because after he brings the same exterminate over, there's no solution to this problem. So I'm
Only
out here-
problem, ma'am, I've never heard that cats eat roaches. I know they eat rats.
Exactly.
People get them for rats.
Yes, Your
They
Honor.
eat roaches and rats?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've
So
never
I
heard
end
of
up
that.
doing my
I've
own.
never heard of
Your Honor.
cats eating roaches. They can't catch no roach.
Your Honor.
What about when they're on the wall? There's a cat climb the walls.
Actually,
No.
yes, Your Honor. Cats.
Now
can
you
climb.
about to go. All right, she told me cats climb walls. Now you're going to make a fool out of me.
Okay.
Here's the pet policy. I see the pet policy. Now it's time to make a fool out of you. You did not agree. You did not abide by the pet policy. You got those cats because as you just tried to make a fool out of me and tell me cats can climb walls. Judgment for the plaintiff. Climb out of here.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,800.
You two want to have any final words to each other?
I would never rent to another person this young again.
And I will never have anyone rent from you again, nor myself.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.